Hey guys, so for today's fall inspired video, I'm going to show you how to make some delicious pumpkin spice recipes. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe if you already haven't. So let's get to it. For our pumpkin spice pancakes, we will need some baking powder, a couple of eggs, spices including nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger, and cloves, oat flour, coconut oil, canned pumpkin, some lemon, coconut milk, and maple syrup. So first we're obviously going to open the canned pumpkin puree. And we're going to scoop out approximately 1 cup of pumpkin puree and add it to a bowl with a 1/4 cup of the coconut milk, and 1 teaspoon of maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and also 1 teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to mix all of the wet ingredients in a bowl and until you get into like a puree type of texture, and then we're going to add the 2 eggs to it as well and just mix it all until it's nice and creamy. In a separate bowl, we're going to scoop out about 1 cup of the oat flour and all of the dry ingredients. This includes all the spices. Now, after I filmed this, I realized that the flavor was a little bit intense, so I would actually cut back on the cloves and possibly the nutmeg. The recipe calls for about 1/2 teaspoon of each spice as well as a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Once you've added all the dry ingredients and mixed them up, then you're going to add the wet ingredients to that bowl and mix that until it's nice and creamy, and then you're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes before making the pancakes. Once I heated my cast iron skillet for approximately a few minutes on a low heat, I scooped out the batter onto the skillet and flipped it when the bubbles on top of the batter stopped popping. You can obviously play with this recipe a little bit and add some different spices or remove some spices or add some more sweetener. It's entirely up to you. This is just like a starting point to work from. For the next recipe, we're going to make pumpkin spiced smoothies. So for 1 serving, I added 1/2 cup of coconut milk, 1/2 of a banana, and 2 tablespoons of pumpkin puree. I actually went back later and added a little bit more just to give it more pumpkin flavor. A tablespoon of maple syrup, and obviously some like 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon and nutmeg. And 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And 1 cup of ice. I blended that all together, and like I said, I added a little bit more pumpkin later, and I added some of my vanilla protein powder just to give it a little bit more flavor as well as richness and body. For the third and final recipe is our classic pumpkin spiced chai tea latte. In a pot over the stove, I added Oprah's chai tea bag from Starbucks, but you can use any type of chai tea you like. and I kind of just cooked that in the stove and then added some coconut milk or any milk of your choice, 2 tablespoons of pumpkin puree, and I mixed that together before adding about half a teaspoon of vanilla and about a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and nutmeg and a pinch of cloves. I also added a splash of maple syrup, but obviously this would be like a teaspoon or a tablespoon depending on how sweet you want it. And I added some cornstarch to kind of give it some thickness. This is entirely optional as well. You don't have to do that. Once everything was whisked together, I added it to a blender and blended it to give it some frothiness, and voila, you have your pumpkin spice chai tea latte. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and all the recipes. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, as well as subscribe. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!